Hello everyone, I'm NewlifeOP. So, let's talk about this. So there are two new extended scenes of The Outsider that was pointed out to me via a friend. Because the video in question was about Billie and her powers, I actually had no intent of watching the full video, truthfully, because, no offense, I'm not really interested in anything that Billie's powers or her power set have to offer. When it comes to Billie, it's like, yeah, I know we're gonna be playing as her, but I'm more interested in The Outsider. And like, fuck, I know Billie, my full mission's just gonna be, going out of my way to fucking spare and save the outsider and possibly give him a hug, and because we're playing Billie, she might sniff his hair.
I've always wondered, what does he smell like? Rotting flesh? Wild flowers? Does he ask you questions? I wonder when he'll speak to me.
And we'll sit down and have tea. That's my optimal ending for that game. Fannin, Billie sniffs his hair.
What does he smell like?
Gives him a hug and they sit down for tea. Please, let me write your thing. No, that'd actually be a terrible idea. But within this, there were two outsider scenes, one of which I'll talk about, the other, nothing really new about it. So when Billie pulls back her hand, actually at first glance is something of a passing thought, but if you look closer, there are a few things to point out that are of consequence that I would like to talk about and theorize about a little. So right away, that I personally noticed is that the outsider sort of points at her, and in a similar way that he points to the character, whoever you play, Corvo, in High Chaos at the Edge of the World Shrine in Dishonored 2.
Welcome home. People like you and the Crown Killer are a part of places like this.
So, personally, I think this could be him making a point of whatever he's trying to get across. As I've said many times prior, the Outsider is a very debate-oriented person. If anything, he would try to talk his way out of killing him more than anything. And I do highly abide by this notion. So with that being the first thing that I noticed when I saw this 4-second scene, it's kind of amusing because you don't see it right away. You gotta actually look through Billie's fingers, which I happened to be at the time. The Outsider was in the scene. How would I not look at him? Team Outsider. Crazy, mad Outsider fan here. And then, a few times watching it after, is when I noticed the other thing, which is probably a little more important than the Outsider pointing at Billie, throwing that out there. But when she's holding her face, you actually see veins of neon blue, something which we associate with the Outsider's power. That's kind of his color of magic, and we see it spidering out through her hand, something which, as she pulls away, it actually flickers out, replacing it with kind of as it's puttering out, it kind of foofs out, I suppose, and that little foof is like a dark green smoke. Something which, the only other time we've ever seen that was in a very brief second after the effect that occurs when Delilah actually took away the mark of the Outsider. However, the Outsider could actually be doing something similar, as we could be seeing the Void's power pittering out or being taken away from the artifacts that Billie uses throughout the game. In retrospect, it could kind of make sense. I mean, Delilah was a part of the Outsider when she pulled away the mark, implying that the Outsider may have a similar ability, if not the same exact one. And seeing as he's a part of the Void, he could either close the connection with the Void and the artifact, and also take note, I know that as she's pulling away her hand, it changes. It physically changes from matte to being glossy as we see it later in the game. I'm just throwing this out there that the Outsider could be taking away her powers or abilities, or, disconnecting the Void magic from her arm and abilities as a way to maybe attempt stopping her. Don't take anything I say as facts, and take everything I say with a grain of salt, as I could 100% be wrong on all accounts. Made for fun, don't take anything I say seriously. So this has been NewlifeOP 586, TheKingStudioz, signing out, guys. Bye!